Hi ladies and gentlemen, for language lovers there will be something always to do is a joy. So, this COVID-19 we all might have experienced or observed some new words which are being used at this particular moment of time. So, my dear friends, COVID-19 has given us some more English words to be used, and let me just have a glance over them and let us have a clear understanding of those words which are being used during COVID-19. So, COVID-19 English vocabulary. See how this COVID-19, what is this COVID-19, what is this coronavirus? Let us have a check. Corona. Corona is a Latin word which means crown. So, the WHO or the people who are responsible to name it, they named it as corona because it looked like crown having some spikes, you can see here in this image. So, that is why this virus is called coronavirus, and the term comes from Latin language. So, to this related word is SARS-CoV-2, that is severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, that is name of the virus. So, when we have both the things, now in general one became coronavirus and it is called novel coronavirus. Why? Novel means new. They found it as a new virus and hence they named it coronavirus. So, in general COVID-19, that is the name of the disease. So, COVID stands for coronavirus disease 2019. So, SARS is name of the virus and COVID it is name of the disease. I hope why coronavirus is clear. Now, let us look at the new word. We see an image of patient here, index patient and index case, right. So, the first patient, the first case registered is called index patient and index case. So, this gives us a picture how the virus has spread, how there is some sudden rise from one country to another country. Here you can see the huge spread, sudden rise, and that sudden rise is nothing but outbreak. This word is being hugely used in the television news, newspapers and all the medias. So, outbreak is the sudden rise in the disease that we can see here more. The next word comes is epidemic. When the virus spreads in a particular area from person to person, that is called epidemic, which is used at this moment of time. So, the next word is pandemic. So, epidemic is from within a particular area, whereas pandemic is particular country or the whole world. Now, we can see that this coronavirus is spreading across the world, across the country. So, that is why it has become pandemic. The next word is, you can see this person is sneezing and through that he is spreading to n number of people, and that is why he is called super spreader of this virus. So, we have to be very careful when we get such cases, we know what to do. The next one is, you can see here a flight entering, then imported, primary contact, secondary contact, then territory contact. So, how this comes into and how it gets spread, that is community spread. Community spread is a very popular word used at this moment of time. The next one is asymptomatic. People having no symptoms at all, but still are liable to get virus. There is some study which is being shown, but what is the meaning of this is having no symptoms. So, anyhow let us be very careful. The next word is, this picture I think makes you understand what could be the word, isolate and self-isolate. People who have been diagnosed with this infected virus. So, separation of sick people with a contagious disease from the people who are not sick. They isolate, they keep them totally away for a particular period of time. If the patient is infected with it, if the person is infected and identified with this contagious disease, so isolate and self-isolate. Then quarantine, a very popular word at this moment of time. We hear quarantine. The origin is very interesting. During 14th and 15th century, it was used in Venetian language in Italy. So, quarantine means separation and restriction of the movement of people who are exposed to the disease, who are not actually sick. So, we are quarantined at home, we are self-quarantined. Some people are quarantined, some people self-quarantine themselves. So, quarantine is a word derives from in Venetian language, which means 40 days. I think you have read that earlier in the olden periods, people when they used to stay away for 40 days of time when the plague used to spread. So, how that is what quarantine word has originated. Quarantine means 40 days period. So, now all are quarantined, right. So, next one, self quarantine. So, just we only decide to be quarantined, that is to be very away from all this spreading of virus. There is one more interesting word with the quarantine itself, I have not added here, quarantini. The word is quarantini. It is nothing but a drink drunk at the time of quarantine, yes. Maybe any drink, any cocktail drink or any kashaya that is drunk is called quarantini. Beautiful word to enrich our language. I think this image is very, very clear. Because of this spread of virus, everything is locked down. So, lockdown is a very popular word during COVID-19. So, here one more, same, sealed down. So, lockdown, at least we have some chance for few minutes to get something, but in the sealed down, things come to our home, we are not allowed to come outside. So, my idea here is to make you aware of the words, not much with the meanings, as you all are already aware of the meanings. So, lockdown and sealed down are very commonly used words at this moment of time. The next one is containment. If a person infected is found in a particular area, that area will be under containment. It will be in containment. So that they stop spreading the virus, stop spreading this infection. So, that particular area will be called containment area, which we read in the newspaper at moment and which we listen to here in the news channels also. The next word is very interesting, contact tracing. When this virus is spreading, people trace it. So, that is beautiful word to know, contact tracing. The next one is very interesting. The Prime Minister announced it on television, social distancing. We may not knew it, or I do not know whether we knew it or not, most of us knew it or not, maybe we were not using it, but now this word has been used and it is being used in a very in huge number. Social distancing has become very important nowadays, and during COVID-19 English vocabulary is increasing and social distancing is one of the beautiful terms to maintain. Now, PPE, personal protective equipment. So, not for common men, masks, for those who treat the infected persons, they have some surgical masks, face masks, then some equipment, instrument, that is called PPE. Then hand sanitize to slower the spread of this virus. We have been frequently asked to wash our hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Hand sanitize is a very common word during COVID-19. Now, the next word is N95 mask. Most of us are under the impression that it will be also a common mask. It is also as good as a common mask. My friends, my dear friends, it is not very common as we think. N95 is a respiratory mask, not worn by public normally. It is used by the people, doctors, surgical staff, paramedical staff to treat the patients. It is a respiratory machine kind of. So, N95 mask is one of the PPE, personal protective equipment. Now, TTT, trace, test, treat. Tracing, testing and treating the infected persons. During COVID-19, TTT is also a new word now. And the next one, flatten the curve. When we trace, when we test, when we treat, we flatten the curve. We try our best to reduce the number of spreading of it. Flatten the curve. The next one, see this image, how the people are uselessly just here in the crowd. COVID-19 has given some words to the English dictionary. COVID plus an idiot. COVIDiot, who does not follow the rules and regulations of COVID-19, who does not maintain social distance. Here there is no social distance at all. Most of them are not wearing mask. Now, those who do not follow the rules and regulations of this COVID-19 are called COVIDiots. And the next one is, you can see how people are very carefully maintaining the social distance. They are following the norms, rules and regulations of this COVID-19, and hence they are called COVIDient. COVID plus obedient. COVID plus obedient is called COVIDient. So, hence my dear friends, I think this small video will just help us to understand the words that are being immensely used during COVID-19. Thank you very much.